What is up, everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my top 3 PvE builds, as well as one SMG PvP build that I've been working on for a little bit here, and was very close to doing individual videos for each, but with the last date of the game announcing Tier 5 and gear sets coming the first week of April, I still wanted to get these out there for people that might just be starting to put sets together and might be looking for a good place to start. And when those gear sets do come out, believe me, I will be all over them. So as always, if you enjoy or find these videos helpful, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content. If you are new to the channel, make sure you got that notification bell on, and go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everyone know what you're thinking of the game so far, or if you have any other insight for newer players, or any questions. So let's get into it. Alright everyone, so here we go. Now as you can see, I do have 4 different builds going on right here for you. 3 of them are for PvE and 1 is for PvP. Now I will have timestamps down there in the description or pinned in the comments, so if you want to check out one or the other, you can go ahead and skip forward and do that. But before I get into all of that, really quick, I would just like to say, before you use a specific type of weapon, it's good to pick a specialist that goes with that. Now, a survivalist, you can get assault rifle and shotgun damage up on the survivalist tree when you're upgrading it. Now, the demolitionist is good for SMGs and LMGs, and the sharpshooter is obviously good for marksmen. But also, I have been seeing some people using the sharpshooter with an LMG just because it gives all of the stability and all that good stuff with it. So, you know, maybe check into that a little bit, to each their own. But other than that, let's get into these builds and see the specifics of them. Alright, so here we go with the first build. We have the armor at 177,000, the health at 35,000, and the skill power at 1,700. Now, if I normalize those stats, you can see what that does. 143,000, 33,000 health, and 1,400 skill power. So we're still doing pretty good overall. Now, let's take a look at the weapons really quick before we get into the build. My primary is a military G36. I really enjoy this weapon a lot because it has a lot of stability at a distance, because it does have that lower RPM, and it has pretty good per bullet weapon damage on it. Now, the talents that I have on here: nearsighted, receive 35% stability at the cost of minus 20% crit hit strike range and 20% optimal range. So we have to be a little bit closer to get those crits, but at the same time, you're getting that 35% stability. So it is what it is. It's working out awesome for me. Now, we have that 15% weapon handling on there, so that'll help with the recoil, all that good stuff right there. And overlap. While holstered, your equipped weapon gains a handling bonus based on the weapon's type. So pretty straightforward on there. Now, the mods that I have, I'm not a big fan of all the minuses, and I know a lot of people really aren't either, but I see what they're going, where they're going with it. They're trying to make everything as level as possible. But I try to look at the pluses, more or less. So we're going to get that crit damage up. We're going to get those extra 30 rounds in the mag, an extra 10% crit chance from the underbarrel, and another 10% damage to elites from the muzzle. So overall, it's been working out really nice for me. I'm enjoying that weapon. Now, my secondary or my primary, I go back and forth so often, is the CTAR 21. If you've played with this, you know it is an absolute laser beam. Definitely check it out if you haven't already, but this is an awesome weapon. We have the talents on here on empty. Reloading from empty grants 30% weapon handling for 10 seconds. So if you just dump the entire mag, reload, 30% weapon handling for 10 seconds. And this thing, again, is already a laser beam on top of it. So if you can get that on it, definitely try it out. Now we have extra 20% magazine capacity. That's always a great thing. And protected reload. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while reloading. And a lot of people, I think, overlook this talent because it's not really that big of a deal. But in some of those clutch situations in PvE, when you run out of bullets and they're flanking you, shooting at you, as soon as you hit that reload, you're getting that extra armor buff, and it can actually really turn the tides. It can really save you in some of those clutch situations. So don't overlook that. Definitely check that out. And as far as the mods go, pretty much the same. Crit damage, extra rounds, crit chance, damage to elites. Trying to cover as many bases as possible. So other than that, let's get into the build itself. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look here. We have a 3-piece Duggan Harding going on. I'm a big fan of this set because it gives you that 5% accuracy, 10% crit hit damage, and 7% crit chance. And to me, that is a very nice base for a crit build, especially when you pair it with at least one piece of Wyvern. That gives us another 7% crit hit damage from that brand set. Now, I have Providence Gloves on here that gives us 10% skill power, and that's just going to help us boost the heal from the Chem Launcher as well as the damage from the Seeker Mines. And we have a chest piece here that is Fenris because it gives us 10% assault rifle damage from that brand, and we're just going to push those assault rifles as far as we can. So let's take a look at each individual piece here. The mask has skill power modified on there, and we have 8% cooldown reduction. For some reason, Duggan Harding only gives me, overall, the electronic rolls as the attributes. I don't know what the deal is with that. I think I've only gotten one piece that has a firearms roll, and you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm working with it. Now, I have 10% hazard protection on there, and that 10% can really go a long way. It does suck when you get EMP'd or shocked or bled. Shock is really a bad one. That's a bad one, and this will definitely help you out a little bit with that. You know, just kind of put that in check a little bit, and you'll see why when we go to the character sheet. Now, the chest piece, again, is Fenris, and it gives us that bonus armor. Definitely try to put that on a couple pieces at least. I almost have 10,000 extra bonus armor because we know when that armor bar is depleted, we turn into just a squishy bag of nothing, and that's definitely going to help you out with that. Now we have 13.5% headshot damage on there and 5.5 weapon damage. That is pretty awesome right there. I would much rather have 5.5 weapon damage compared to 5.5 crit chance or crit damage, something like that, because 5.5 weapon damage is overall damage. It doesn't matter. It's not a chance or anything like that. It's just going to boost up that damage as much as it can. And the talent on here, Berserk, 10% weapon damage for every 10% of max armor depleted. So it's almost like the Division's 2 version of Unforgiving. And it's really been working out nice for me. I really do enjoy that. Requires a shotgun, SMG, or assault rifle to be equipped. It has hard hitting on there as well, 15% damage to elite. So anybody with a yellow bar, they're going to feel it a little bit harder. And the mod that I have on here gives us some health, armor regeneration, and armor on a kill. Now, health is not the biggest thing, but if you can get some extra health, that's a good thing because, again, when that armor bar is gone, whatever health you have, that is what is left, and, you know, 35,000 health, I mean, an elite can take those down in no time. It's sad. But that armor regeneration is a good thing there because it's always regenerating or will help the regeneration, and the armor on a kill. So every time you put somebody down, you get that little bit of armor back, and every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. So other than that, moving on to the holster here, we have 12% crit chance on there and 20% explosive damage on there. That's really nice because I am using those Seekers. And when you try this with the Seekers, you definitely see it. I promise you, you definitely see it. Now, I do not have a mod on here because all I have are electronics mods overall. I have this as weapon handling and shock resistance. I guess I could put that on. But the point being is, if I put any electronics on, then for the weapon, yep, see, never mind. I got to take that off. Yep, see, it's fine. Yep, I got to take that off. Even the mods like that will make it so that you cannot unlock your weapon talent. So be sure to check that out. You know, don't just be throwing mods everywhere. If you don't have to, and you're gonna gain something somewhere else, you know, just check it. That's all I have to say. But either way, we got that crit chance up on there, the explosive damage. The knee pads here, we get some more skill power. So again, it's just going to help out our Chem Launcher and our Seekers a little bit. And we have 10% hazard protection here as well. So again, getting that hazard protection up, it definitely reflects on the character sheet. Now, the mod that I have on here gives us 1% weapon damage, 1.5% headshot damage, and 6% optimal range. Not too bad, not too bad. I was pretty happy with that one. Now, as far as the gloves go, it has SMG damage and assault rifle damage on there. I wish I could have got more assault rifle damage. I just don't have any gloves that have like 7, 8 plus percent of assault rifle damage to be, modded on there. When I do find them, I definitely will be doing that. And the SMG damage I did leave on there because I was running with a SMG as a secondary, because if you run out of ammo on your assault rifles and you're carrying 2 assault rifles, well, then you got to swap, right? But basically, there's so many restocks in this game, it doesn't even matter. So either way, it is what it is. This also has 20% armor regeneration on it right here. So this is going to be helping us out right there a lot. That just push that armor back as much as possible. Armor is a huge thing for this game. That's what I found. Now, the backpack here gives us 12.5% crit hit damage. Not too bad. We got an extra 6,000 health and almost 4,000 bonus armor. Not too bad. And we have hard hitting on here, damage to elites 15%, and hardened 10% armor. So far we're doing pretty good as far as damage to elites and armor, all that good stuff. Now let's take a look at the mod here. I just have a skill power mod on here with Firefly skill power and the Seeker skill power. That's mainly all I was focusing on, was the skill power and the Seeker power, because, well, I'm running the Seekers. So basically that's about the first build right there. As far as that goes, as far as skills go, I'm going to be going with the Reinforcer Chem Launcher, because you can just kind of drop this. You just hit it one time, just tap R1, and if I'm in cover and I count to 3, I'll have at least half of my armor back, if not more. So this thing has really been working out awesome. I definitely recommend trying that out if you haven't already. And I'm going with the Cluster Seeker Mines because, well, that was one of my favorites in Division 1, and they still work really nice in Division 2, especially if you grenade them first. Grenade them first, give them a status effect, or just, you know, hit them hard, and then throw your Seekers right after. Then you got to pick like 5 shots, and most of the time they're down. It's really nice, and it's been working out awesome. So let's take a look at the character sheet here. The gear talents, again, we have hard hitting, damage to elites, 10% armor, berserk, hard hitting, damage, some more damage to elites, insulated, hazard protection, you know, ×2. We have self-adjusting, 20% armor regen, 20% explosive damage, weapon talents here, nearsighted, optimized, 15% weapon handling. That's an awesome one. Overlap, that's cool. On empty, that's an awesome one right there. Try that one out. If you're not the best of aim, reloading from an empty weapon, you know, grants 30% handling. That's an awesome thing right there. Now the magazine capacity, 20%, protected reload, breadbasket, distance, rooted. I mean, we got a bunch of stuff going on here. Now let's take a look here at the actual numbers. We have the weapons here. 13,800 weapon damage per bullet says, and we have 29% crit chance. It's not the best, but hey, 30% chance, I mean, basically that's not too bad. 65% crit hit damage, 70% headshot damage. So again, landing those headshot crit shots are, that's where it's at right there for me. The range, 26 meters, not too good. Like, again, I have to be a little bit closer, but it is what it is. Reload time, 2.2. Accuracy, stability, 10% on there. Now the weapon handling, 15%. 6.5% all weapons damage bonus on there. We have 28% assault rifle damage, so anything coming out of the assault rifle is going to hurt. Got a little bit of SMG, 15% shotgun damage. We have 10% pistol damage, 40% damage to elites. So on top of all the crit, all that extra, you know, assault rifle damage, we got 40% damage to elites. That is an awesome thing there. Now, as far as defense goes, our armor, 177,000. It doesn't show up armor on a kill or armor regeneration. I don't know why that is, but I know that we're getting it regardless. Now, health regeneration down here is 17,000, or I'm sorry, health on a kill is what I was referring to up there. They're both zeros, and so is armor regeneration. But either way, health regen, 17,000. That's pretty good right there. So again, with your health being, you know, 35,000 and so on, you know, that you just drop that that chem launcher and it's going to heal you up a lot. Now the hazard protection, what I was talking about right here, this is why just a little bit goes a long way, because 20% hazard protection gives you 20% bleed, blind, deaf, burn, disorient, disrupt, and shock resistance. 20%. I mean, just for having, you know, a couple things on your pieces, and more or less those status effects are not going to mess with you too much. Now my skill power, again, nothing special. Obviously we all know that. I mean, we don't have any kind of skill builds really going right now as far as I'm aware of, but we have 1700 skill power, 8% cooldown, drone power, chem launcher power, you know, so on and so forth, and we have that Seeker Mine skill power up as well. Now active dark zone perks, nothing crazy. Bag space, daily winner, terminator, sleight of hand. So I mean, overall, that's about that. That is the first build here. Hopefully you're still with me. Let's get on to the second. Alright, so on to the second build here. Now, basically, again, same exact weapon, so we're going to save some time there. We don't have to go over those. Now, again, the mask and the holster, I believe, are the same as well. The armor on this build, 158,000, health 37,000, and the skill power 1,700. Now, if I go ahead and normalize those stats, you can see where that goes. 125, 35,000, and 1,300. So overall, the Duggan Harding, we have a two-piece going that gives us that 5% accuracy, 10% crit damage. We have a two-piece Fenris going because it gives us that 10% assault rifle damage and 10% protection from elites. So hey, that's pretty good. I really was trying to get another Fenris piece so that I could get that 20% health on a kill, but after really thinking about it, health on a kill is not a big deal, but you need to worry more about armor. So the three-piece there, to me, is not really that big of a deal. Now, other than that, we have a two-piece Badger Tough that gives us 7% damage to elites and 15% armor on a kill. Now, I would like to put a third piece on to get that 15% chem launcher skill power going, but I would much rather have that protection from elites because those elites, again, will eat through your health like nothing, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So either way, let's take a look at individual pieces here. The Duggan Harding has skill power and cooldown reduction. We have that hazard protection on there like before. The chest piece is Fenris, and we have bonus armor, headshot damage, weapon damage there like before, and we have the same talents, obviously, all that good stuff. The holster is Duggan Harding. We have that crit chance on there. 12%, that's awesome. I'm loving that. That explosive damage as well, that's a great thing too. Now, the knee pads here are Fenris. We have skill power on it as well. I'm not a big fan of all these skill power minor attributes. I'd rather have a little bit of some stamina, something going on. But either way, we got some skill power. We got armor regeneration. And now, patience. I really need to get this active here. But you have to have a lot of stamina going, like I was saying. After being in cover for 3 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. So basically just staying in cover, and you're just going to, your armor bar is just going to keep on filling up. And that, the armor on a kill or anything like that really isn't that big of a deal. Or it is, but it'll still help out, you know what I mean? So either way, moving on to the gloves here, they are Badger, and they give us health, LMG damage, and assault rifle damage. Now, I could put an LMG on. I am running an LMG on another build here, and that extra 4% just gives it that little bit of a uptick, and it helps out pretty good. Now, I put that 5% assault rifle damage on there, just again, push those assault rifles as far as possible, and it's been working out nice. Now, the backpack here is Badger as well, and we get health, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and some skill power. Got 4 attributes on here. I like this. I'm liking that right there. If I could get more pieces like that, that would be really nice. But overall, that's that. It's working out really nice. So let's take a look at the character sheet. Now, again, we have Berserk going on there. We have hard hitting. We got that damage to elites going on. We have insulated, self-adjusting, 20% armor regeneration, 20% explosive damage, nearsighted, optimized, overlap. I mean, this is crazy. I love all this stuff. Extra 20% magazine capacity, all that stuff. I mean, you get so much stuff on here. Now let's take a look here at the weapons here. Weapon damage is 13,900, almost 14 per bullet, and the crit hit chance is 27.5. Crit hit damage 51%, and the headshot damage 68%. So again, you smack them in the face with one of those crit hits, they don't like that very much. They go right down. You got a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of stability. We have 15% weapon handling. We have 5.5 all weapons damage bonus on there. 30% assault rifle damage. I cracked that 30 mark right there. I was pretty happy with that. So anything coming out of those assault rifles is going to hurt. We have a little bit of LMG, a little bit of shotgun, pistol damage. We have 32% damage to elites. I'd like to push that damage to elites a little bit farther, but again, I keep getting those electronic rolls for the minor attributes, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But again, it's a work in progress. Now the armor, 158,000. The max health, 37,000, so it's a little bit higher. Health regen, 18,700, so that's pretty strong. And again, just having 10% hazard protection on here gives us 10% bleed, blind, deaf, burn. you see where I'm going there? Even that little bit can really go a long way. It covers a whole broad spectrum of things and is definitely a good thing in my opinion. Now the skills, I have the skill power here, 1700, nothing crazy, 8% skill cooldown, and we have all these buffs for the drones, the chem launcher, all that good stuff going on, and it's working out really nice there. Now the dark zone perks, same thing, bag space, daily winner, terminator, sleight of hand. Nothing crazy going on there. So let's go on to the third build. All right, here we go. So the build here, we have the armor at 161,000, the health at 42,000. That's pretty good, but the skill power is only 888. Not too good for the skill power, but that health, the extra health is pretty good, and we have some pretty decent armor. Now let's toggle the normalized stats so you can take a look at what that looks like. Still 40,000 health. That's pretty solid. I'd say that's pretty good. Not too bad at all. Now, the only difference as far as weapons go, I do have an LMG on here. It is a tactical M249 para. These things hit like a truck, and they have a lot of bullets in their mag. I mean, even though I'll show you the mag that I'm using, but even so, we have still 85 rounds, 550 RPM, so it's a little bit slower RPM, but you can control it easier, and you still have that target damage to targets out of cover. So if they're just running around, extra 15% damage up, or if it's a heavy, something like that, and they're just kind of walking towards you, hey, light them up with the LMG. Now, the talents on here, ignited. Deal 20% weapon damage to burning targets. Burning enemies. Now, that's a big thing for me because I have the incendiary grenade, so that definitely will help out. I throw an incendiary out, they start burning, and light them up with this thing. Works out awesome. We have accurate, 15% accuracy, so again, on an LMG, that's definitely going to help. And protected deploy. While equipped, this weapon grants 10% bonus armor while deploying a skill. So, as soon as you are throwing a skill out, or if you have to put something down, some seekers, because you're getting rushed, you're going to get 10% extra armor, and I mean, hey, it works out. Again, nothing is perfect here, but I've been working with what I've been getting. You know what I mean? Now, the mods here, again, I don't like to look at the negatives too much, but it is what it is. On an LMG, things are a little bit different because obviously the accuracy, stability, things like that are a big factor, but in all honesty, this tactical M249, it's a laser beam. I can hold it on target, not a problem. We got the optics up there with the crit damage, the ammunition belt that gives you 25% reload speed, so that's a big thing right there, but it's minus 15 rounds. Minus 15 rounds plus 25 reload speed, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Now, the underbarrel here, we got that laser pointer with that crit chance, and the muzzle here gives us stability and optimal range. I didn't go with the damage to elites. I went with stability to, again, just kind of make sure that you can hold this on the targets and just mow them right down. It's really nice. So other than that, let's get on to the build itself. Okay, so again, we are going to be going with the 3-piece Duggan Harding, 5% accuracy, 10% crit damage, and 7% crit chance. I have 1-piece Fenris on, and we have 2-piece Badger. So I switched it up just a little bit. It's mainly just swapped a couple pieces out, and this honestly, I really like this, and especially when you see the character sheet, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the mask here, we swapped out the mask. We got 6% cooldown reduction, and we have health as the modified there. Now, I would like to get armor on that, but I just didn't have a mask that had a high armor roll, or any armor roll, to be honest, to swap for the health there. But it is what it is. I'm working with it, and it's been working out all right. Now, the chest piece here, again, we already went over this, the bonus armor, headshot damage, weapon damage, berserk, and hard hitting right there. Now, the holster here, oh, did I mention the armor regeneration on here? We got 20% armor regeneration on the mask. Sorry about that. Now, on the holster here, we got that 12% crit chance, 20% explosive damage. We got weapon handling and shock resistance on there for a mod. Now, the knee pads here are 4.5 crit chance, and we have 20% armor regeneration. So right there, it's 40% armor regeneration. That's really going to help you out when you pop that chem launcher. You put that down, this is definitely going to work out nice. And we have some assault rifle crit hit damage on there. So as a mod, that's pretty good right there. We got the crit chance, and then we got the crit damage all on one piece with armor regen. I mean, I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Now, as far as Badger goes, we are going to be getting that damage to elites and armor on a kill. And we get with the gloves here, health, LMG damage, and assault rifle damage. And again, that's why I put that LMG on there, because I just got that 4%. I figured, hey, I'll put one of those LMGs on there. They got a lot of rounds that hit like a truck. You can't really go wrong with it. And as far as the backpack goes, we have health, crit damage, crit chance, and some skill power on there. And let's see, the mod skill power, increased poison duration, and 1% XP weak point kills. So if you hit them in the weak point and that blows them up, hey, you get an extra little bit. But really, that's about that. I really have been enjoying this build. Let's take a look at the character sheet. We got Berserk on there. We got hard hitting, damage to elites. We got self-adjusting twice, so that'd be 40% armor regeneration. We have destructive, 20% explosion damage, so those seekers are going to be hitting pretty hard. Nearsighted, optimized, 15% weapon handling. Overlap, got to have overlap on there. That's always great. Have that handling bonus based on the weapon type. Ignited, deal 20% damage to burning targets. Accurate, 15% accuracy. I mean, this stuff just goes on and on and on and on. I love it. These character sheets are amazing. Now, the weapon damage here, we got 13.9 per bullet, 39% crit chance, 55 damage, 68 headshot damage. So again, those headshot crit shots should be hurting pretty bad. Not too bad at all. We got some accuracy stability. The weapon handling is 19.5%. So that recoil is not going to be messing with us too much. We have 5.5% all weapon damage bonus, 30% assault rifle damage bonus on there. So right there, I mean, with the crit and the assault rifle damage, we're doing pretty good. We got that little bit of LMG damage, but really the LMGs don't even really need it. If you were to stack 30% LMG damage, I mean, that was a future build. That's an idea for the future. I already had it in my head. As well as the shotgun builds too, because those things in PvP, they mow you down if you've ever been into skirmisher or anything like that. We have 32% damage to elites. So, overall, those numbers in my head works out really nice overall on a very broad spectrum. Now, as far as defense goes, the armor, 161,000. Not too bad. Our max health is 42,000. Not too bad. The health regen, 21,000. So again, when I just drop that chem launcher heal, that's going to help me out a lot. It's going to heal really, really fast. The only downside is I do not have any hazard protection, and you can see it there. All zeros. I've got a big fat goose egg all the way down there, except for shock resistance, and that's just because of a mod. So either way, it is what it is. Now let's take a look at the skills here. Skill power is terrible. 888. 6% skill cooldown, and you got 888s all the way down there, everything from drone to turret. So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, again, active dark zone perks, bag space, Terminator, daily winter, sleight of hand. Pretty straightforward there, guys. And I hope you're still with me here. We got one more now, the PvP SMG build. I think you're going to like this one. Let's check it out. And here we go. The final SMG PvP build that I've been using a little bit in the skirmish, DZ, so on and so forth. And it's really, this thing hits like a truck, in all honesty. So let's go over the weapons first. Now, I'm going to be using as a primary tactical AUG. I really like the AUG just because it does have that slow RPM, but the per bullet damage is really nice. And, I mean, this weapon right here, the talents itself really helped me out as well. We got preservation, killing an enemy repairs 5% armor over 3 seconds. Headshot kills improves the repair. I don't know how much it improves the repair, but when I get a headshot, it definitely helps me out. That's all I can say right there. Optimized, 15% weapon handling. So the SMGs that already are pretty easy as far as handling goes, not very much recoil, extra 15% on there. And rooted, while equipped and in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds. Buff is lost when exiting cover, can occur once every 25 seconds. So if I'm getting lit up and I want to heal up, all I gotta do is get into cover, drop that chem launcher, 25% up, 25% healing up. That is amazing. Buff is lost when exiting combat, or I'm sorry, exiting cover. Can occur once every 25 seconds. So if I get lit up again, I can duck back. 25 seconds is not a long time. I mean, a lot can happen in that amount of time, but at the same time, it's been working out really nice. I've really liked this weapon a lot. Now, the mods that I have on here are optic with crit damage. We have the 9mm magazine with the plus 10 rounds, minus that 5 crit chance. That really hurt my soul to do that, but extra 10 rounds can definitely help you out. We got 15% stability, minus 8% accuracy, but again, it's not a big deal. You get a little bit of stability on there, you're doing good. And we have the muzzle slot here, 20% crit hit chance, and minus 10% rate of fire. 20% crit hit chance. You got to get that muzzle, guys. Got to get that muzzle. And I did not go with crit chance on the underbarrel. I will show you why when we get to the character sheet. So let's take a look here at my secondary weapon. It is an MPX. I know a lot of people like the Vectors, even the SMG9s, things like that. In all honesty, I like the Police T821. This thing hits like a truck, 16.1K per bullet, plus 5969. And it's got a big mag, so don't overlook that weapon. Try it out. You know, just try things out, see what worked good for you. I was lucky enough to get the Merciless the other day. I got that. Hey, this is pretty cool. Binary trigger. This weapon is equipped with binary trigger that fires a trigger, pull, and pulled release. So it's like double shot, more or less. Pulling the trigger fires primary rounds that stay embedded in an enemy. Releasing the trigger fires detonator rounds that detonate all primers on the enemy it hits. Each hit detonates gains 75% damage per primer detonated. Only one enemy can have primers, and at most 5 primers can be embedded. So this is almost like the Historian. It's just an AK version. You know, the Historian in Division 1, where it would embed itself and explode for so much percent more. This is awesome. And then Brutality. While holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 20% damage as explosive damage. That's pretty great right there. While you holster this, you kill someone, you throw some seekers out there. So there's a 5% chance it's going to do 20% more damage. Not too bad. But other than that, the MP5 ST, great weapon. Great weapon. Do not overlook this one. I just have one that doesn't have the best rolls on it. But either way, MPX is definitely a way to go. Police UMP4, all of these are really good in their own way. You know, that Vector has an insane RPM. Look at that. I'm pushing 1,500 RPMs on that. You know, but the only thing is the mag is 40-something round. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Each their own personal preference. I'm talking too much about weapons. Let's get into the gear set. Let's take a look here. Our chest piece is Wyvern. We have a 3-piece Wyvern going that gives us 7% crit hit damage, 15% drone skill power, and 10% crit hit chance. Now, I don't know why, but I must have swapped back for some reason. But I need to put on the drone here. Let's put on that fixer. All right. Because that doesn't make any sense if I don't have it on, right? We have 7% crit hit damage, 15% drone skill power, and 10% crit hit chance. So that's pretty awesome right there. Now the Sokolov 2-piece that we have on gives 10% SMG damage and 8% crit hit damage. That's really nice. Now you could always go with the 3-piece Sokolov if you like to run those Seeker Mines, which I typically do. But at the same time, if I'm not going to be getting that buff, it is what it is. I'm focusing on just raw damage. And as you can see, the armor over there, 181,000 health, 33,000 skill power sucks. Let's normalize that really quick. 145,000, 31,000 health. It is what it is. That armor, we're doing pretty good on the armor on here. But either way, we have a Alp Summit set of gloves here that gives us 10% cooldown reduction, so we can get those Seekers back and get our drones back as quick as possible. And then we have obviously another piece of Wyvern up here. So let's go over these individually. We have the mask here that has 4.5% crit chance and 30% hazard protection. I put 30% hazard protection, like I said, on those other builds. You know, the EMPs, the flames, the this, that, those suck. And in PvP, you will get hit with those a lot more. People are spamming grenades, you know what I mean? And this will definitely help out with that. And also, we have the talent on here. Capicative? I can't even, I don't know how to say it. Capicative? I don't know. But either way, it gives us 20% skill duration. And that's a good thing for our drone. It's going to push it 20% longer. Now, the chest piece here is Sokolov, and we have 10% headshot damage, 12.9 thousand bonus armor, So that armor right there, that's what I'm saying right there. That's what we need on some builds. We got to get some high armor up. We got 3.5 weapon damage and 3.5 crit chance. This is amazing. The only thing that could make this better is put SMG damage on it. But it already has SMG damage on the so it's crazy. It's crazy. Moving on to the holster here, we have 7% crit hit damage, 15% drone skill power, and that 10% crit chance with 6% chance and 11% cooldown. We're working it right here. We're doing pretty good. And the mod here is 125% skill power, increased bleed duration, and 4% burn damage. Did I go over the mod here on this? No, I didn't. We have 1% weapon damage, 5% weapon handling, and 1% crit range. So we're pushing that crit range on a SMG even farther. That's really nice right there. Now, the gloves, we have cooldown reduction on there, like I said before, but we have that 10% SMG damage on it. We're stacking that SMG damage. Wait till you see this character sheet. The order. Grenades can now be cooked by holding the fire button, making them explode earlier. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because if you want to set one right in somebody's lap, you can sit there, cook it for a second, throw it, boom. Because as soon as they see that the diameter where that grenade's going to be, or they see the incoming grenade, anything like that, they're going to jump away, right? Well, when you cook it, put it right in their face, and boom. They don't like that at all. Now, we got that skill power, burn damage, and increased shock duration. Now, we have the backpack here that gives us 12.5% crit hit damage, health, and bonus armor. We have some damage to elites on there and 10% armor. I'm not too worried about the damage to elites. I just really like that 10% armor on there. And again, we have the skill power and the seeker skill power mod on there as well. So other than that, let's take a look at the character sheet here. I can't wait to show you this. This is really nice. The numbers are awesome. I mean, it is what it is. We got hard hitting, you know, a couple times on there. Those are wasted talents, I will admit. We got hardened 10% armor, 20% skill duration. You can cook your grenades now. Preservation, killing an enemy repairs 5% armor. You know, 15% handling, rooted, breadbasket. Breadbasket's really nice. Landing body shots adds a stack of bonus 5% headshot damage to the next headshot for 10 seconds. So basically, if you're shooting them in the body and then you can get that final couple bullets on the head, that'll take them down, and you'll drop them real hard with that right there. That's really nice. Jazz hands, you know, you got 10% reload speed. Zen, when equipped, resting in cover for 3 seconds removes blind or disorient status effect. Not a big thing. The blind disorient isn't really the strongest effect that I would really worry about, but as soon as you get into cover, hey, it removes it. We got breadbasket again, so on and so forth. Now here we go, guys. Here we go. I could max out the crit hit chance by just swapping one thing, but and that would be the underbarrel. The underbarrel attachment would put me at 60% crit hit chance. 60% is still the cap. You cannot get higher than 60%. I was kind of bummed. I thought maybe they would have upped it a little bit, but either way, it was at 59% without the 10% crit hit chance on the underbarrel laser, and 60% with the laser. So it's not a big deal for me. I took that laser off. 59% crit hit chance, 63% crit hit damage, 60% headshot damage. So again, crit shots are going to be nasty. You got accuracy, stability, you got 20% weapon handling there. That's pretty nice right there. 4.5 all weapons damage bonus, 20% SMG damage bonus. We got all kinds of other bonuses going on here. We got damage to elite, so you can take this into PvE. I did run it in PvE a couple times, and it was actually working out pretty good. I'm not going to lie. But the armor, we got 181,000 on there. That's really strong. The max health, 33,000, health regen 16,000. That's not too good because that skill power is really low. But either way, we got hazard protection of 30%, so 30% bleed, blind, deaf, burn, all that good stuff. So no matter what somebody throws at you, it's basically a third of it is not going to hurt you. That's how I'm looking at that. So don't overlook that hazard protection. That is definitely a good thing, especially in PvP. Now skill power again, terrible, but we have 21% skill cooldown reduction. That's what I was going for, trying to get them skills back as much as possible if they're not that strong. So that way you can just kind of spam them as much as you can, and hey, it works out really nice. Active Dark Zone perks, it is what it is. Nothing too crazy. So that is about it, guys. that pretty much sums up the Crit SMG build. I'm liking it. I've been using it. It's been working out nice. Hopefully you try it out, and hopefully it works for you. Well, alright everyone, there you have it. These builds have been working out really nice for me, and I hope they do for you as well. Until we get to Tier 5, and then we get those new sets. You know, if there's anything that you might want to see, you know, now or in the future, just let me know down there in the comments, and if I can make it happen, I definitely will. You know, now, on a side note, really quick, since Tier 5 is coming out, and new sets are coming out as well, beginning of April here, it might be smart to just kind of start, you know, saving up your currencies, your crafting materials, things like that, because we don't know what's in store. Once that drops, we know we're going to get the new sets and things like that, but, you know, with new blueprints, things like that, etc., that we could have, that's definitely something that you might want to save up on. So hopefully that helps you out. I thank you all for watching, and as always, if you enjoy or find these videos helpful, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, make sure you got that notification bell on, and go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everybody know what you're thinking of the game so far, and, you know, what you're thinking of Tier 5, you know, what's your favorite thing. So, until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you later. See ya.